Many of you have been asking for fragrances that last a long time and have massive protection. So I went through my shelf and kind of thought of different fragrances that I know to have really good protection and longevity. Put them on my table and I gave a little paper and I sprayed on it and I left them for 2 days and came back 2 days later. And in this video, I'm gonna give you my choices. Hey everyone, I'm Peter from Scent Trail. If you're new here, I want to give you a warm welcome. On this channel, we talk about fragrances, designer, niche, perfumers, so on and so forth. So if you're into fragrances or you just want to smell great, later on down the video, if you like it, give it a thumbs up and a like and love, share, all those wonderful things. I know it's kind of silly to be doing all that, but just don't forget it because it does help support the channel. I want to thank you in advance, and now let's dive right into our video. The first one's going to be a fragrance from Razila. If you like Tuscan leather or ombre leather, if you're into leather fragrances, then Razila La Yugawam is a perfect fragrance for you. I literally sprayed this thing 2 days ago. And you get up here and you still smell the leather and you still smell the raspberry that's in this fragrance. The bottle looks like this right here. It's 100 ml. You can buy this one for a really good price. Here, let's give it another spray while we're at it. Smells so good after 2 days. And you actually don't need that much, a couple of sprays. And that's all you need. The leather in this one is going to be a lot stronger when you first start out. And then the leather kind of dies down. And what you get later on is a nice warm leather fragrance with a little bit of a raspberry tone underneath. There's also some elemi in this fragrance and some suede. So there's two different kinds of leather in here. It's a really beautiful fragrance. And it's very, very close to Tuscan leather by Tom Ford, and this one is available at a really good price. So if you're into leather, this is my #1 choice for like massive protection and really good longevity. Like I said, 2 days later, you can still smell this one, and that's Razila La Yugawam. All right, but let's dive right into our next one, which is gonna be, if you don't want something that smells like leather, if you think that's too masculine for you, the next one is going to be something from Nishane, and is going to be a little bit more on the fruitier side, but also has massive protection and longevity. And it's going to be Hatsevart by Nishane. Now, Nishane is a Turkish perfume house. And here, let me show you the bottle a little bit here. It's a pretty cool bottle. Now, this one's going to be a little bit more on the pricier side when you go out there. It's along the lines of the Creta Ventises, a little bit on Mancera, Cedrat, Boise. It's going to be along those fragrance lines or fragrances. It's going to have some pineapple in the opening. It's going to have some bergamot. There's also going to be some lemon or grapefruit in the opening. So it's quite fresh when you first spray it, but it is a really, really good protector, and it lasts a really long time. Let's give this one a little spray too. Nice spray. And just a really beautiful scent. Now you can totally wear this in the wintertime and it'll still protect through the cold. It is not one of those that kind of fades away because it's too light. And it is a master protector and performer. Hatsevart from Nishane. If you like it a little bit fresher and not on the leathery side. The next one that we're going to talk about is a brand new one that was released just this year, and it literally took everyone by storm. And if you don't have any of those yet, because there's like a few of them, then this one by far is my favorite at this point. And it is going to be the new one from Sauvage. It is called Elixir. Now I originally picked this one because I thought that there was some ambroxan in it, like the original from Sauvage, but actually it's not. What we have in this one is going to be more of an amber and licorice note. But it is, you can tell it's still a Sauvage, but it is, in my opinion, way, way, way better. It's not such an ambroxan bomb, but it has an incredible longevity, and the dry down is really superb, and it lasts, 2 days later, it still smells absolutely incredible. Now, the downfall of the Sauvage Elixir is 2021 that I think it's like between $60 and $70 for a 1 fluid ounce. This one right here is $160 for a 2 fluid ounce. So it's a little bit more on the expensive side, but you can really get away with just doing 1 or 2 sprays. Now this is starting to get a little bit more into the spicier fragrances. You have some cinnamon, there's going to be some nutmeg in this one, the cardamom is there, you have a little bit of grapefruit, just to give it a little bit of a tanginess at the very beginning, but it's going to be a deeper fragrance. The lavender is expertly blended with the woods in the bottom. You have some licorice, you have some sandalwood, you're going to have a lot of amber in this fragrance. It's a little bit reminiscent of an older fragrance, of something that you've smelled already, sort of reimagined. Francois Demachy is still behind this one, like it was in the original ones. It's a really beautiful combination of amber, patchouli, and the licorice. It's really, really well done. I love the way this one dries down. And I actually have been wearing this one quite a bit. But it's a massive projector, and the longevity is out of this world. I mean, 2-3 days, no problem on your skin. It smells absolutely fabulous. It might be a little bit much. Many of these are a little bit much when you first spray them. You got to give them a little bit time to settle down, and then they're absolutely wonderful. The next one is going to be also along those lines, really a little bit too much at the beginning, but once it settles down, it's a beautiful fragrance. And it's going to be Red Tobacco from Mancera. At first, this one is really loud. I mean, don't spray this and get it right into the car. It has a screw on top, probably so you can't, spill it by accident. It's a really powerful one. Let me give this one a spray. And what we're going to have here is we're going to add in some tobacco, as it says, red tobacco. A good amount of vanilla. It's a little bit astringent at first. It has a little bit of oud in it, so it's going to be a little bit, not everybody's cup of tea at the first sniff. Also, you got some incense in this one. You're going to have some nutmeg. You're going to have some saffron. It's a really gorgeous fragrance, though. As it starts drying down, it's a great one for the really, really cold weather. Super cold outside. This one will cut through it without a problem. Love wearing this one. Also, some patchouli in this one. There's some jasmine. And, of course, the tobacco note, which is just really super comfortable. This one came out in 2017, and nowadays online you can get this one for a really good price if you're looking for a tobacco fragrance with massive projection and really good longevity. There's some woods in the dry down too. As it goes lower, you're going to have some Gaiac wood, of course, in there. You're going to have some agar wood in there, and a little bit of musk, and also a little bit of vetiver to keep it a little bit on the fresher side. Massive projector. Like 2 sprays, 3 maximum, and you're going to be good to go with red tobacco, massive longevity, and projection. Really good one. The next one, what we're going to do is we're going to add in a little bit of booze. We're going to make it a little bit on the boozy side. Now, lots of people talk about this one because for good reason. You can get this one at a really good price. But it is a booze master, so to speak, with really good projection and longevity. And it's going to be a fragrance from Nathalie Larson. And it's been out for quite a while, but it seems like the fragrance community still talks about this one because it is really that good. And if you like a masculine fragrance with a little bit of rum in it, it's going to be Bentley for men, and it's the Intense. This has a massive loud projection. It makes you smell like a cowboy. It's such a good fragrance. Now, out of these, I have to admit, out of these that I have here, this one and the next one, it didn't quite hold up as the first 4, but it is definitely still a massive projector, and it probably lasts a day and a half where the other ones were 2 days, full 2 days. This one was kind of starting to disappear a little bit. It wasn't quite as powerful as it was at the beginning, but it still is a massive projector, and it will get you noticed incredibly long as far as the longevity. So we got some rum in this one. You're going to have some woody notes. It definitely makes you smell like a cowboy. There's some leather in there. Also a little bit of smokiness as it dries down. You have a little bit of benzoin and some patchouli, and also a little bit of cedar. It's a pretty loud fragrance. This one's a little bit fresher to me. It's very loud, much like the Nishane, the Hatsevart. It's very in your face and be easy on the sprayers when you wear this one. But It smells absolutely wonderful, like a cowboy from Texas. You've probably seen this bottle before. Seems like everybody kind of talks about it. Actually, the Bentley line is a really good line. They have some really good fragrances. This is no doubt one of the favorite ones. And I don't know if you noticed, but this up here is sort of like the knob that you have in cars where you can kind of, adjust your MBUX or whatever in the car. It's kind of cool. So that's Bentley for Men, and it's been out since 2013, so quite a while, but people still talk about it. It's a really good one, and you can get this one for a really good price, and it's really niche quality. The next one, we're gonna go with a Bulgari, and the Bentley for Men and the Bulgari, they kind of started weaning a little bit as we got to the 2-day mark. But I think it's still worth you to put in here if you like something that's a little bit more spicy. This is gonna be Bulgari, and it's Man in Black. Now this one has rum in it, just like the Bentley for Men Intense, but we're going to have some spices. I can't really figure out what spices. Must be a mixture of different spices. It's also going to have some tobacco, so you get a little bit of the red tobacco. Not the red tobacco, but you get a little bit of tobacco in there, a little bit of rum. So it has a little bit of everything in there. Also has some suede leather. Let's give this one a spray. Now it did wean a little bit. Like I said, it didn't quite still smell as strong on these little strips as the other ones beforehand, but it still was very, very powerful and lasted a really long time. You're gonna have some tonka bean. I think behind this one, the nose behind this one is Alberto Morillas. You're also gonna have some Gaiac wood in this one. Here, let me let you look at this. All of these, really, the Bulgari line, I have a few of them. They're actually really nice. They're all very well done. Alberto Morillas does a really good job. And you're gonna have some spices. So this is more of a spicier, it's more of an oriental version. I'm not sure if you can actually say oriental nowadays anymore because everybody gets upset. But you know what I mean, it's Eastern spices. Quite beautifully done with the rum and tobacco. So if you like a spicy fragrance, you got tobacco, rum, and spices. And there's another thing that's in this fragrance. It has a hint of iris, sort of, as it dries down. If you're an iris lover, and this is also a great fragrance. Now, it's not as lipsticky as, the Dior or something like that. The Diorum Intense gives it a nice little smoothness, and it's really well done. Good job, Alberto Morillas. And then the final one that we're going to have is a new release. So we have 2 new releases in this list, and it's an absolute powerhouse. This next one, it seems like, as the flankers came out, they sort of got better and better and better. And you probably already know which one I'm going to pick here, but this thing is really a powerhouse, and it lasts for 2 days plus, and you smell absolutely great. And it's going to be the new one from Armani, or Emporio Armani, if you will. It is called Stronger With You, and it's the Absolutely. Brand new release for 2021. Comes in the same flacon as all the other ones. Looks just like this. Beautiful little bottle. Looks great. And I always say I don't really like the tops too much. You have to sort of fit them on there and then find a spot to get in there. I don't know. I've never traveled with these, but it seems like it could come off pretty easy. Let's give this one a spray as well since we're at it. Nice little sprayer. Yeah. So Armani, see, just not that easy. There we go. Armani Stronger With You, Absolutely. It's going to have the DNA of the original Stronger With You, with the chestnut in there. It still has the chestnut in there. And I always thought it's such a good fragrance. It'd be really cool if they could add a little bit of rum into it. And, believe it or not, in this one, they actually did. The top notes are listed as rum, elemi, and bergamot. So the bergamot gives it a little bit of a pop of a freshness, but already you get hit with the denseness of the rum. Out of all the ones, I really, at this point, now it's new, we'll see how it develops, but it's new, and I like this one the best at this point. I find myself wearing this one more than all the other ones. There's a softness due to the lavender, which is quite beautiful. And of course the chestnut. Wonderful fragrance. I think I can see myself wearing this fragrance, walking through the markets in Europe in the winter time and just being totally engulfed. This thing makes me feel warm. It's not something I would wear in the summertime. It's too cozy to me for the summertime. This is something I would wear when it's really cold outside, snow, drinking some hot tea or some hot cocoa. Really wonderful fragrance for that. And it, like I said, it lasts. This one totally held up the 2-day mark without a problem. and it projects because it's such a unique smell, and you'll get compliments for sure. And that's the new one, 2021, Stronger With You from Emporio Armani. As far as these, which one should you get? That's most powerful, you know, and lasts a long time, 2 days plus, and really massive protection. A leather or a little bit of, you know, the La Yuga one with the leather, or the Hatsevart Nishane with a little bit of a fruity vibe to it, along the lines of the, you know, Creeds and Mancera, Cedrat Boises, you know, that kind of thing. Or I think this one, the Sauvage Elixir Outstanding. I really love that one. It reminds me of yesteryear a little bit, but in a sort of dried down, clubby kind of way, not in a gentleman, you know, older father or grandfather way. This is more the yesteryear clubbing fragrance that smells really, really good, and you just want more of it. I really enjoy that one. Of course, if you love tobacco fragrances, the Mancera Red Tobacco Powerhouse, you'll smell great, like someone smoking a pipe in the background. Absolutely wonderful. And if you like the cowboy way, Bentley for Men Intense, tried and true. It's been around 2013. Great fragrance if you like it on the boozier scent. Great, I think, fragrance to wear it like a smoke. What do you call those places when you go in and you smoke your cigars and stuff like that? I think that's a really good fragrance for that. And of course, if you like it a little bit more spicy, you know, a little bit something from the East, a little bit a spicy note with tobacco and rum in it, then Bulgari Man in Black is a really nice fragrance. This is a little bit more on the elegant side. It's beautiful. And I can see wearing this one, you know, going out in the evening for a dinner or something like that. It's a little bit, it's not too in your face, even though it's really going to be noticed. You know, nice, soft, spicy fragrance that is definitely projecting really well and will cut through the cold. And of course, the last one we just talked about, Stronger With You. Now, I hope I helped you out a little bit in trying to find a fragrance, you know, that you can go out and purchase with confidence, because it is going to project. Now, remember, it is going to project a lot, and they're going to last a long time on your skin and on your clothes. The kind of fragrances that when you spray them and you pick your sweater or whatever up a few days later, you will still smell these fragrances on there. If you're into that, then this is a great list for you. You can't go wrong with any one of those. But as always, do go out and get yourself a sample, since my nose is my nose and your nose is your nose. I hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, I want you to take good care of yourself. Always smell nice, and I will talk to you soon. Until then, Central.